Hello everybody, welcome to week 12 material. This week we are talking about designing with modularity. We're starting off here on the Sketchfab website. If you have not already created your own Sketchfab account for your 3D models, if you in fact are focusing in on a track with 3D modeling in mind, I would recommend you do so. It is a free model viewer that you can upload models to. It is compatible with ArtStation. It is a very useful, powerful, and again, free tool that you can use to improve your portfolios if you'd like. This is an example here of 3D modularity. I went ahead and created a simple environment. This is from years ago for an old project. It looks, quite labyrinth-esque and complex, but in reality, it is just this big room here that I modeled, this little room here that I modeled, a straight hallway piece, a curvy piece, a little T intersection piece, and that's really it. That's all it took to create to create this environment. So modularity, just to be clear, is creating very simple models, very simple basic models here of straight hallways, things like that, and then fitting them together to create bigger, more complicated environments. It is a very powerful and useful method of quickly and efficiently designing a world for a game or for most things, really. I mean, you look at any animated show or any 3D animated show in particular, or even 2D stuff, because modularity is not limited to just 3D models. You can do it with 2D sprites. You can do it with coding even. Modularity is an important concept to understand for most any kind of design work. But you look at most shows, live action, CG, or 2D or anything like that, and you'll notice that for hallways and stuff, they don't create 1,000 different unique hallways. They create one or two, and then characters will just cycle through those same one or two locations. Same thing with games. You don't run around 1,000 unique different hallway scenarios. You just go through one or two that just repeat endlessly throughout the runtime of the game. I mean, depending on the kind of game, it may not be one or two, it may be like 10 or 12, but still, designing just 10 or 12 different hallways compared to 2,000 different hallways is much more preferable. And again, creating just a series of very simple models will help you. Very simple models designed to fit together, to be tiled together, not too dissimilar to proper texture work, and you can create big, complicated environments relatively quickly. So that's what we're going to do this week. We're not going to create a labyrinth like this. We're going to create a cave system, and we're going to do it through Maya. Keep in mind, while I am focusing on the 3D aspects of modular design, you can do this with anything. You can do this with 2D design. Again, you can do it with coding. Modular design is very easy to grasp, and a very worthwhile skill to incorporate into your skill set here. So yeah, without further ado, let's get out of Sketchfab. Okay, we're in Maya now. We're going to create a cave. Let's just get to it. Again, when it comes to modular modeling, the key is simple models that can very easily fit and tile together. In the case of modularity design of any kind. So let's go ahead and let's just create polygons, cylinder. And good. Let's go to our front view. Let's go to face. Let's delete these. And there we go. We have the first piece of our cave already complete. This is a nice straight piece that will serve as a basis for all the other pieces we need to make. Great. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete my history, as you should. Next, I'm going to make sure I have snap to grids here selected. I'm going to go to my top view. I am going to get this out of the way over here to, around there. I'm going to make some copies, put this back at the origin. We're not actually going to keep these duplicates that I'm making. I'm just using these right now as a basis so I can very quickly create other pieces that I need. We have our intersection of straight cave pieces. We have the original one over there that we're going to be using in the long run, but these ones here are going to be useful to create our other pieces. So let's go ahead and go up to Create, and let's go to Polygon Primitives. We're going to make a torus now. Let's go to our top view so we can get a better eye on things. In our torus, we are going to, let's see, the radius should be 12. Just getting rid of those, and there we go. There's a nice little curve. Let's take a look and see how it looks here. Yeah, very nice. Decent little turn piece there. Good. Okay. All right, so there we go, a nice T-piece. Next up, I'm going to make an intersect piece for all 4 directions. Same thing, I'm going to start, and I'm just going to speed up just to, get through this faster, because all it is just some basic modeling. So here we go. Okay, that is the intersection complete. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way over here. There's only two more pieces I want to make, and then we should have enough for what we want to do. So let's go to create polygon primitives. Let's make a sphere this time, and let's make it radius 6. Does it fit nicely? Yes, it does. There we go. That's a nice dead end piece right there. Great. Put that. That can go over there. Very nice. We are almost done. We have almost all our pieces. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And as you can see here, we have a straight piece. We have a turn piece, which we can turn one way or the other to have a left turn or a right turn. We have a T piece here, a T turn here, a four-way intersection, a dead end. The last thing I want for this cave would be an incline. But before we get to the incline, let's go ahead and move forward and flatten the floors for all of this stuff. Flattening the floors is just going to help us out a little bit once we get into Unity proper. So let's go ahead. Let's go to our front view. We'll have to do these one at a time, but that's okay. We'll just go to vertex. We'll make sure we have snap to point selected this time. And now we're just going to raise it up a bit just to flatten everything out. There we go. Nice flattened floors for everything. Going to make it much easier moving forward. Very nice. Now we can move on to the final piece. I would like the cave to be of multiple floors, whatever kind of cave I make, so I'm going to go ahead and create an incline piece as well. Okay, the incline is complete. I placed it where it needs to go next, along with all the rest of the pieces. These are all the final pieces I will be using for the cave. Just 3, 4, 5, just 6 little basic pieces here. We can create a whole system out of them. Before moving on and doing anything, I'm going to go ahead and just select everything here, make sure everything's been, make sure all the history is deleted, get rid of anything that's unnecessary here, and then I'm just going to go ahead and name everything. So let's see, this is cave straight. Perfect. All right. History has been deleted. We'll take care of the transforms later when we prepare this stuff for Unity. When we prepare for actual exporting into Unity, but for now, this is okay where it all is. The next thing we need to do, we need to keep in mind that right now, our faces are facing out. You can tell because you see how it's all dark in the default lighting with Maya. That means that inside there is there is no normal information in there. Whereas out here, you can see the default material for the Maya file here, for the Maya models here, and because of that, we know that the faces are facing outside. So any kind of materials or textures, color, or actual image information, whatever it is, you're only going to be able to see from the outside of the cave and not the inside. And we want to be able to make sure, because we're going to be in an interior environment, that we can see the materials and the textures when we're inside and not outside. So for that, we're just going to select all of these. We are going to go up to Mesh Display. Where is Mesh Display? We're going to select Reverse, and that will reverse the normals, the direction of the faces. So now, when you're outside, there won't be any there won't be any face information at all. But when you're inside, you will be able to see any kind of material or texture for your cave, which is good because we're going to be inside this entire time. So we want to make sure that we can see the textures and materials when we are inside. We also want to make sure that the colliders work properly, and that comes from making sure that the normals are facing in the correct direction. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly UV unwrap the pieces. The next step is now going to be to take all of these. Let's see. Actually, let's get rid of those checkerboards there. Let's see. We're going to delete our history again. We are going to mesh smooth for all of them. And now we are going to go ahead and soft select. So let's turn on soft selection here. Let's lower it down. Our next step now is going to be to create some irregularities for the cave so that it doesn't feel like such clean computer-generated tubes. We're just going to be, playing around with soft select here and, making some irregularities. Important to note that all the irregularities I make, I am not going to mess with the edges at all, because if I mess with the edges, then I ruin the tiling fit in together effect of the modular workflow in the first place. So any changes that I make to the soft selection, any irregularities I make into the cave, it is going to be in the middle of all my pieces and not at the edges. So here we go. Okay, so I went ahead and created some irregularities into all the pieces so that's more cave-like, a little bit more natural. I could do more work with it, but for now, for demo purposes, this is enough. The last thing that we need before we can put all this stuff into Unity is a texture. I mean, it's great that it kind of looks like a cave, but now we need to actually make sure that it really looks like a cave. So we really need some rocks to put in there. The fast way to do that, if you don't want to make them yourself, though you can make them through Photoshop or Substance Painter, I would recommend, especially for Substance Painter, that especially when it comes to Substance Painter, you can use it for modular design, but you would probably prefer the quicker solution, which is Polyhaven, a public 3D asset library. I already found a nice rock texture that I'm going to test out here. So I'm going to go ahead and download this and just apply it and see what it looks like. And quick cut, I went ahead and applied the material. Very simple to do. All I did was create a Lambert, and from there I went to color, I went to file, I went ahead and found the rock stuff that I downloaded from Polyhaven. After that, I went back to the cave material, I went to the bump mapping, I went ahead and clicked on my normal map for the rock, and there it is. I also changed the color space for the for this material to raw, as opposed to what is the regular one, the sRGB, because color has actual color and the bump map does not actually have color, so you don't need to use a color space of sRGB. The one other thing I want to tell you about materials real quick, and let's actually go ahead and create a new material just to show you what I'm talking about here. I'm going to assign a new material. It's going to be a blend. I'm just going to call this a test. I'm not going to actually use this for anything. Okay, so whenever you try to apply a bump map to something, make sure after you select file here, make sure that in use as you change from bump to tangent space normals. That's very important for normal maps. Make sure you change this use as bump to tangent space normals. If you skip this section, you're going to have to go into the hypershade and track down the node for this bump map. So make sure you switch to tangent space normals, and you can select here, and then you can select the file for the for your proper normal map. But anyway, that is something we can talk about in class in greater depth if you have questions about that specifically. Otherwise, this cave system is ready for Unity. So next time I'm going to do the final steps of preparation here within Maya, and then we're just going to launch this thing into Unity. So I will see you all next time. Hope this helped. Thank you very much for watching.